And he just basically said mutually assured destruction is just a fancy way of saying suicide. And, that's how we have to look at it. As long as we have nuclear weapons, we're literally just preparing to commit suicide.
The world is changing. The headlines are screaming about a new Cold War. But the mainstream media is missing the real story. What if the global isolation of Russia and China is just a myth? The world is waking up, and the old order is crumbling. But don't just take our word for it. Several experts have seen this coming years ago. Former US Marine intelligence officer and UN weapons inspector Scott Ritter is one such expert. He's been watching geopolitical developments for years, and he says the current situation is anything but a surprise.
North Korea sent troops to fight in the Kursk region. 101 dead, successfully repelling, NATO-trained Ukrainian forces. So why are we surprised that Putin and Kim Jong-un embrace? We knew they were going to embrace. We knew they're friends. We know they have a strategic relationship. Xi and Putin have been talking for some time. There's been phone calls going back and forth. I mean, every time these guys meet, it's friendly. None of this takes anybody by surprise who's been watching this. This didn't just happen out of the blue. This is part of, years of solid relations between these guys, these three leaders.
This isn't a new alliance forged in a moment of crisis. According to Ritter, these relationships have been solid for years, and it's the irresponsible policies of the United States and Europe that have simply accelerated their collaboration. The West's attempts to target and isolate these countries have had the opposite effect. The notion that Western countries take offense with Putin's allies is laughable at best, if not downright hypocritic. In the 1980s, the Western countries backed Iraq's Saddam Hussein in his war against Iran when it served their purpose. From 2001 and 10 years onwards, all the Western countries could talk about was the war on terror, the war on Al-Qaeda and ISIS. That is until it was decided it was time to topple Assad in the Russian vassal state of Syria. The United States then began to fund and arm the very terrorist organization they supposedly had spent a decade fighting. But the biggest bombshell from the recent summit? It's something that affects every single one of us.
People should pick up on is that the dollar is dead. After this Shanghai meeting, the dollar is finished. There's no, whatever chance we had, we being the United States, of retaining not dollar dominance, but dollar relevance, is over. It's finished. It's done.
This isn't just hyperbole. Ritter blames the destruction of the dollar's credibility on the policies of both Donald Trump and Joe Biden, specifically their reckless actions with the Treasury and State Departments. It's a reality that's just now manifesting itself, and a reality that much of the Western media is only just waking up to. This new nuclear arms race, according to Ritter, is a direct result of American policies, including the withdrawal from key arms control treaties. It's a dangerous path, and as Ritter puts it, mutually assured destruction is just a fancy way of saying suicide.
And he just basically said mutually assured destruction is just a fancy way of saying suicide. And, that's how we have to look at it. As long as we have nuclear weapons, we're literally just preparing to commit suicide.
The West's narrative of isolating its adversaries is a dangerous delusion. As the world shifts, we are all faced with a new reality. One where trust is being built in the East while it crumbles in the West. This is much more than just politics. It's about a new world order being born. The world is changing indeed,